was in French class. There we go. I was in French class, and the professor asked everyone, what was your favorite time to be alive? And then she ate a big bite of cheese and smoked a cigarette. She's French. Everyone else in the class answered maintenant, which means now. I was the only one in the class who said, childhood is my favorite time to be alive, clearly. And I said that both because I can't speak French, but also because childhood was magical for me. When I was a kid, I did things like run and jump. And now, I do things like take my friend's prescription drugs to stay up all night, writing a paper instead of sleeping. Yikes. I recently called my parents because I was excited that I just signed a lease. Signing a lease, I think, is kind of like the adult version of showing your parents a report card, except that now they have to pay $900 a month for it, and the faucet leaks. Everything that I do for fun as an adult damages either my mind, my body, or both, with the possible exception of sex, which still damages my mind, body, or both like half of the time. Am I right? I'm just really bad at sex. Childhood for me ended in junior high school. Yeah, junior high, kids suddenly decide some of us are cool, some are not. I barely made the cut for the cool kids. And the reason that I did this was because I had a niche. A niche. I didn't need. I didn't. You know. And my thing was that I was unathletic, strawberry blonde, my hair was in the shape of a mushroom, and I told everyone jokes that I stole from The Office. This strategy worked great until 8th grade, when a stranger came to town. And that stranger's name was Canyon, as in what he was about to carve in my life. I didn't meet Canyon right away. Instead, all my friends told me things like, oh man, David, Canyon looks so much like you. Oh man, Canyon had the best that's what she said joke. Canyon's hair is the color of spun gold. His hair looks like a mushroom cloud. Why doesn't yours, David? Why doesn't you? I studied Canyon as he slowly crept up the MySpace top friends of everyone important to me, until he eventually replaced me, like Aunt Viv on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. I was eventually out of the cool kids group. I had to make friends who were nice to me or whatever, and cared about me. But the story does have a happy ending, because Canyon eventually went to jail for stealing hard drives. So his life is a mess. Fuck him! Right? Yeah? He's an idiot. Whatever. Junior high, I did manage to have a girlfriend. And one day, she came up to me and she was visibly upset. I said, what's wrong? And she said, somebody told me that they didn't think you're good looking. What do you think? I didn't really know how to respond, but you guys have been listening to me. I didn't look like Canyon. So I said, I don't think I'm that good looking. And she started crying. I felt like I'd done something wrong, although I wasn't really sure what it was, except for, So I was confused, so naturally we broke up, because, that's how you do that, emotion. More recently, my relationships have been much better, much healthier. I'm currently dating someone, and it is going great. The only hiccup has been one night we were walking home, and she held a knife to me. And I was kind of like, and she was kind of like, And then I was just like, hey, do you think you could put the knife down? She did. And, you know, we laid on the lawn, looked at the stars, no blades in sight. I'm not really sure if I'm in a healthier relationship, but it's irrelevant because with that cold steel pressed against my throat, I was harder than the knife was. Am I right? Come on. Come on. Yeah. Keep it up. Okay. You guys like the show Breaking Bad? All right. I did too. Sometimes I'm not sure which I miss more, Breaking Bad or my family. My mom is in many ways like Walter White. She is a teacher, and she did wait 2 weeks to tell me that she had cancer. Full disclosure, my mom is fine now, don't worry about it. But can you imagine the complex emotional journey that I went on? It was, in many ways, like the complex emotional journey that many of the characters in AMC's Breaking Bad went on through the show's tight, amazing 5 seasons on air. I mean, you start with this chemistry teacher, right? And then he finds out he has cancer, and he starts selling that. But it's like, he's good, and then he's not so good. By the end, it's like, who do we root for? That's what it was like for me. I wasn't mad at my mom, it's like complex, you know. I was mad when my dad, on Christmas Eve, told me that he had had surgery a month before to get rid of prostate cancer. Whew. I was as mad as many of the antagonists on the hit AMC drama Breaking Bad, which just won so many Emmys. You guys wouldn't even believe it. I mean, we got Aaron Paul, we got Anna Gunn, Bryan Cranston in the role of his lifetime. And that's just 3 of the principals. Think about the supporting cast members who gave their all in this series. Vince Gilligan's a genius. Anyway, that's how mad I was. My entire family is now cancer-free, living great lives, and my parents have way more time to cook and distribute that together. So it's wonderful. They don't actually sell that. I haven't been a spiritual person, really, at any point in my life, except for recently. My friends told me I would know a spiritual awakening when I saw it, and I did. I was walking to Andy's late one night, fully prepared to pay top dollar for some delicious custard. And when I went into Andy's, I saw, sitting on the counter, unclaimed, the most lavish, delicious, enormous custard cup that I had ever seen. So timidly, I went up and I said, "Excuse me, do you think that I could have that cup of custard?" And they said, "We'll see." Somebody still might come for it. So I waited. I suffered, like Jesus did. No one did claim it, and eventually I got to eat it all, and it was the most delicious thing I've ever had. And the price paid by someone for that custard, still visible on the cash register, $6.66. Coincidence? I think not. So now every day I sacrifice a goat to the Lord of Darkness. Satan works in mysterious ways, and until then, ball's in your court, Jesus. I know you guys have been told to vote for a lot of different people tonight, a lot of fantastic performers. Well, one thing I can promise you, if you vote for me, more 9/11s.